Hey everybody, this is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios. It's time for another update, and it's April the 2nd. There's no April Fool's joke from me this year because, like I've heard other people say, this world is crazy enough at the moment without, the news is so unbelievable just from around the world that I don't think we need any more April Fool's stuff. You just look at AI and all that sort of stuff, and it's very hard to believe what you read anyway, and I don't think we need anything April Foolsy. So there's going to be none of that in this video. What I wanted to talk to you today about just quickly is some Lair of the Leviathan stuff and a little bit of Sword and Sandals 3 news. So Lair of the Leviathan I've been working on this week, and as you can see in this little thumbnail here, adventures in a larger world beyond the borders. I was struggling to think about what I wanted to show you this week because I do want to do regular video updates on the game, but because so much of the work I'm doing is on the engine, it can be hard to sort of show off stuff that I think you guys might be interested in. But one thing I wanted to show you is pretty cool, and it actually does expand the world of the game, and not a lot of people might be aware of this, but the world of Lair of the Leviathan is bigger than you think. Let's jump in and I'll show you. Alright, so we see the familiar looking world map here. One cool thing that David has been doing is he's actually been updating this world map. This isn't in the game yet, but he's got a world map that I'll be bringing to the game at some point that has a lot more detail even than what you see here. So you're going to see there's going to be a cool big sort of stone castle gateway up here. There are little mines and mine entrances dotted through here. Little castles, ruins. Basically, this is going to be a very dense map that you can explore every inch of. And, our characters move around like this. You can go where you may, but you're going to find some very cool stuff. So if you see here, random encounter might be here. You see a grumpy dwarf. Great. That was just me testing out an encounter. You can get gold and stuff like that. But over here, there's a town. What I wanted to show you. Oh, yeah. One cool thing. Very cool. The game now takes real-time data from around your local weather. And if it's raining outside, it starts raining in the game. That took me... I spent about a month working just on that. I said I wouldn't do an April Fool's. That's an April Fool's for you. A pretty lame one. It does not take the weather from around you and put it in the game, because that would be pretty terrible. Imagine if you lived in a rainy climate. It'd be very miserable if it never rained. Anyway, I don't know, I was thinking back to the game. Okay, so look, it's raining now, but let's go to the town of Stonewood. You can journey on into the town. What you couldn't do before, now you see this little thing. You can walk around the town and everything, and you can use your mouse and we'll follow if you need to. But when you leave the town now, leave this area, yes, you now return back to the main map. That's a little thing, but it wasn't in the game before. Once you ended somewhere, you couldn't leave because I hadn't programmed it. But, you can walk around this map. We've done this before. I'll avoid the town. But, it's a big enough map as it is. As day turns to night. You might have seen that. Right, I had a version of this that had lights going on in all the buildings and everything, but I turned that off. What I can do is, just out of interest, let's go to this region map, and we can add a light into the scene. New light, light color, medium. Let's put this light over here. Okay, and we'll say this is a little light. Bit more energy like that, and then create a new light. For instance, an evil light. Imagine this is an evil castle down here. You can put that down there. We'll save that map and we go back to the game, and now you'll see, actually, if I change the time of day, I just wanted to show you this. This is kind of cool. This shows you how powerful my editor is right now. Light, which one is it? Time of day. Oh, yeah, let's turn the time of day to nighttime again. Okay. Got our lights in the scene. You can see what the world will look like. That's what it's supposed to look like at night. But what we're going to do, we're going to turn it back to daytime because that wasn't what I wanted to show you. Save the map, return to the world. Uh, okay. Ah, yeah. The time of day thing does. I don't have a weather editor yet, so it's still just kind of it's still stormy. I need to be out a little some hot keys to turn off the weather. But anyway, Adventures in a Larger World. What was that all about? Okay, now finally, did you know this? The world is bigger than just this map. Now, if we go south, journey to the south. Ah, hey, look, we're on a whole new map. Now, this map, just before you freak out and go, what is this awful map? I quickly mocked that up in Photoshop. It's not going to look yucky like this. This was just the other map turned up down, and then we kind of go, I put some sort of water there. And the real map will not look like this. Probably not going to be sort of this ocean to the south. But we're going to find there is ocean in the game, and you'll be able to sail around. That is supposed to be water, but you're not going into it. But yeah, look, you can go to the south, and then you can return to the north again. So this game is bigger than you think. And I thought that was kind of cool. And that's what I've been working on this week. But also, there is now a dungeon tab. And I'm going to start work on the dungeons this week, which is pretty exciting because we've already got our locations, like Stonewood Town here, and our region maps, Starting Valley in the Southlands, thoughts, sort of terrain, stuff like that. Pretty powerful editor. I got to say, even if I'm the one that built it, I'm pretty proud of it. So yeah, that's what's going on in Lair of Leviathan. I did put a little a video up yesterday, just showing off some more of the character creation stuff. You saw it in a previous video, but I'll just quickly show you what that looks like in a nutshell too. Yeah, now, so as you know, I did a pretty detailed video about this last week, just showing how we get the characters from a sprite into Godot and do all the full animations. But if you missed that, there was a 1-minute summary which I put up on social media yesterday. And in this video, you'll hear me talking. That's not me talking now, that's me in the video. But anyway, let's just jump in and I'll show you. Behind the scenes. Customized animated pixel art heroes in our RPG. First, we create a layered figurine in A-Sprite. Import into Godot with the A-Sprite wizard. Create individual nodes for each figurine layer. Layer visibility and color shading done with code. This system allows us to customize hair, weapons, basically every aspect of the figurine. We can also load in different base figurines and customize the character's outfit even more. Shaders can apply to layers to change colors. Figures can even have multiple animations. Randomized colors and layers for infinite variety. Demo coming to Steam in late 2025. Wishlist our game to join the adventure. So yeah, a little summary of what's been going on, for that side of things. And, when you're doing a big project like this, it can sometimes be hard to sort of provide content because, like I said earlier, you just are so busy building the game engine that, it's not always something exciting to show off each week. And the power of what is in that character creator stuff is very hard to sort of explain and even show off in a sort of a 1-minute video. But I just wanted to get it out there and just try and just let people know that the character is going to be really really customizable, and you'll really be able to create something very close to what you hope for. And you'd be able to have a party of, I think at the moment, there's 5 adventurers in the party. We haven't locked that down, but I'm really proud of what David and I have been able to achieve there. What else is new? Oh yeah, little Swords and Sandals news for you. I have submitted the Steam page for Swords and Sandals 3 Redux, and I'm going to be unveiling that later this month at a very special date to be determined later in the month. And I've actually spent about a week working on Swords and Sandals 3 Redux. Last week there was no work done on Lair, and I've actually got it to a pretty cool spot. I suppose you've stuck around this far. Let me show you one little sneak preview from that game. Just one image. Okay. And here we are. It's the pre-fight selector now with Grog Scummo, our favorite goblin-esque arena overlord from Sword and Sandals 3. And one thing you'll notice is that there are 5 gladiators to choose from each fight, as opposed to Sword and Sandal Mortals, 4 gladiators. And now the difference between Sword and Sandals 3 Redux and Sword and Sandals Immortals is that in Sword and Sandals Immortals, there were many different arenas to visit. In Sword and Sandals 3 Redux, of course, there is only the one arena set on top of a cliff, or the one location set on top of a cliff, which has multiple arenas within. And what I've decided to do is that in each day of the game, the rules will change. So it might be, hey, there's a spiked trap, and you're set in this arena today. Or the next day, you're fighting with an arena with a cliff, or the rules are no magic, or whatever it is. And of course, you'll be able to turn those off in the in the game options if you wish to customize the game however you like. So as I said, this game is going to be, it's using the Sword and Sandals Immortals engine and graphics and so on, but with a whole bunch of new arena champions and, of course, shopkeepers and new music and everything. So if you like the Mortals, you will like this. Anyway, this is going to be coming later in the month. No, the Steam page will be coming later in the month. The game itself, to be determined when that will be released. I don't want people to think that I'm spreading myself too thin on the projects I'm working on. I do have a lot on my plate in work and in life at the moment, but keeping the Sword and Sandals flame alive is very important to me, both on a, financially, of course, because it is the sort of bread and butter of what I do, and it helps pay for games like Lair of the Leviathan to be developed, but also because I'm very close to the series, and I love to see, you guys still playing it and enjoying it, and I want to still be able to continue the legacy of the games. And Sword and Sandals 3 was always a game that I wanted to remake, and when I built Sword and Sandals Immortals, I had Sword and Sandals 3 Redux in mind, because they are so similar in how they play. And this is not going to be an earth-shattering game. This is not going to be a game too different to Sword and Sandals Immortals in how it plays or anything like that. But just giving Sword and Sandals 3 a bit of a fresh coat of paint and new music and new graphics and so on, hopefully will just bring a bit of life back into that classic game, and also make it playable on mobile phones, which is one of the plans. Quick shout out to my Patreon supporters: BGP, Cavity Number 1, Dane Simino, Brandon K, Noah Gudajan, Xup Omega, Seth Drabitko, Jeffra of Hex 3D, Hopeless, Louis Figo, who's had to leave us for now, but he will return. I've kept him in there because he's a great character. Valen Wed, Evan, Martin Shalupski, and Sir Onyx. Great heroes all, and I try to give you guys updates when I can. You guys are going to be part of Lair of the Leviathan as well through a painting or a tombstone or a book or whatever it is. And if you would like to be a patron, where's he gone? That damn armorer. I used to be able to get him to show up. It just disappeared. The budget here at Whiskeybarrel Studios, everything's going wrong. We've lost the armorer. He used to do this. Make my day. Anyway, good times. All right. Hey, look, thanks for your time today. I'm Oliver Joyce, of course. And if you're new to the channel, if you've somehow stumbled across it, you can subscribe or not. And if you are returning, thank you so much for being part of my handle on the video production side of things is leave something to be desired. But look, I'm really excited with Lair of Leviathan is going, and of course Sword and Sandals 3. Stay tuned for more on that soon. I'm working on the dungeon stuff now, and the next month or so we'll be working very hard on getting that sort of working. And of course, dungeon stuff ties into combat and beyond. And I'll hope to have a really detailed video on that in about a month or so, but there'll be more updates before then. All right, my friends, until next time, avoid any April Fool's jokes, because, they're not going to make your life any better if you can. And don't take anything for granted. I don't know where I'm going with any of that, but be good to each other. I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.